Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cecil. I'm going to be teaching a lesson for today, and we're going to be looking at factoring trinomials. And we've looked at some quadratics and trinomials a little bit already. With last week, we looked at the polynomial graph, the U-shaped graph, and we looked at the vertex and the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. Now we're going to be looking at how to actually factor if we just have the equation written out. Now, we're going to be doing that using the diamond method, which I do believe y'all have seen already once. But if y'all haven't, that is fine. We're going to be going over it now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and jump right into this. And by the way, you all have this paper on, I believe, your Google Classroom is where it's posted at. And y'all can follow along with me here. I'm going to do the first two problems here. And then after that, I want you all to go ahead and try them out. If y'all get stuck on anything or you have questions on anything that you're doing or any questions on the work I did, you can come to the Google Meets we have every day from 11 to 1. But anyways, let's go ahead and start into that. So we're looking at the diamond method for factoring these. So the diamond method, we first have to figure out what our A, B, and C is. So A, B, and C here is always these first numbers here. So in this case, it's 3, 5, and 2. I'm going to go and write those out. I'm going to put them over here. So A is 3. And I'm writing off to the side here because I just don't have much space using an iPad. Because I'm still trying to get used to this with my big handwriting. And C is 2. All right. So diamond method looks like this. And we're going to have a number in each one of these spots here. So the top spot here is actually going to be A times C. And the bottom spot is going to be B. So what is A times C? Well, A is 3, C is 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then our B, we just copied down there, 5. So now we've got to figure out what numbers will multiply to give us 6, but combine as an add or subtract, whatever the signs are, to give us a 5. In this case, they're all positive, so that should tell us that we're going to be adding for that bottom number. So let's list out factors of 6 here. So we got 6. Factors 1 times 6, 2 times 3, and that's it. So 1 times 6. If we added those, what would we get? We'd get 7, right? So that doesn't work. That doesn't give us the 5 that we're looking for here. We need to find another one. So what about 2 times 3? So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3, well, that's 5. So that works. So we got 2 and 3. So that's our key component here. Now, what if we just went ahead and wrote out now, using this, x plus 2 and x plus 3 as our factors? Would that be correct? Well, no, it wouldn't, because we know for a fact x times x is not 3x squared. So that's not true. So we actually have to do an extra step here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So extra step is all about factoring, what we did with the 6 when we broke it into 1 and 6, 2 and 3, that's factoring. We're just using a little bit more here. So I'm going to rewrite this as 3x squared, same thing as the 3x squared above it, plus, and instead of that 5x, I'm going to use the 2x or the 2 over here and the 3. I'm using these two to replace it. So I got plus 2x plus 3x. So that's replacing the 5x because we know 2x plus 3x, well, that's 5x. And then to finish it off, we got plus 2 at the end. Actually, to make it even more clear, let me get rid of these. They're going to stay the same. I just want to change the color on those. So I'm going to make those green. And this was a 2 up here. So plus 2x plus 3x. Okay. So now we got to look at what if we group these separately again. So what if we look at this as one group and this as one group separately? Can we factor anything out of this first group here? So ignore the second group we made, ignore that. Just looking at this, can we factor out anything here? What do they have in common? Well, look, they both have an x. This one has two x's because it's x squared. This one has one of them. So we can actually factor out an x there. But when we factor it out, guys, forgive me, I'm not very good at writing with this yet. I'm trying my best. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we factor out an x. This 3x squared, it lost an x, so now it's just a 3x. And this 2, we had plus 2x. Well, we're taking that x away, so we just got plus 2. That's all we got left there. Now, what about, done with that one. Let's look at this one. Do we have anything here we can take out? Do they have anything in common? This is a 3 and a 2. This one has an x. That one doesn't have an x. So no, we're kind of just left with what's here. So I'm just going to write plus, because that plus is in the middle up here. I'm just using this plus right there. Plus, and then I'm just going to write the same, 3x plus 2. All right, and we're almost done with this already. So looking at this now, we got x, 3x plus 2 plus 3x plus 2 again. Do you notice how this is the exact same as that? What we're actually doing here, we're taking out both of these as one new factor. So I'm just going to write 3x plus 2, put my parentheses around it. We're factoring that out, and all we have left is this x, and we took this out, plus, and we took this out, but there's really an invisible 1 here. If y'all remember that, every time we just don't see a number in front of something, like if it were just an x up here or something, it'd really be 1x. So in this case, it's actually 1 times that whole thing. So I'm taking out what we have here, so x, which we got from this, plus 1, which we got here. There's an invisible 1, really. And that's it. That's how we factor it. We're done right there. That is an x there. All right. So if you want to pause, go back, watch that a few times, that's fine. I am going to do one more. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change the color. Let's use red this time. So I'm going to get rid of all my other ones. So we're done with one. I'm not going to mess with these because these are going to be for you all to do. Now let's look at this one. So from there, we're following the exact same steps every single time. So first off, looking for our A, B's, and C's. So our A in this case is 5 because that's our first one right there. Our B is -4 because that's right there. And our C is -12. So I'm going to take those, put them into this guy, just like last time. So remember, this top one is A times C. So we have 5 times -12. And if you need a calculator for any of this, that's totally fine. But I know that 5 times -12 is -60. And B goes to the bottom here. That's just, whoops. I don't know how to put that there, but now it's staying there. -4. All right. So again, we're looking at what multiplies to give us a -60 and combines to give us a -4. So first thing I'm going to do is take my -60 and find the factors of it. So I know 1 times -60. I'm just going to look at the 60 though. I'm going to ignore the negative for right now because I know one of them has to be negative. But I'm just going to look at 60. So I know 1 times 60 is 60. 2 times 30. 3 times 20. Does 4 go into it? Yeah, 4 times, is that 12? No, 15. What am I doing? So I need y'all to correct me in class. Then 5 goes in there 12 times. 6 goes in there 10 times. And I think that's it. Yep, that's all of them. All right, so let's just look at these one at a time here. So 1 and 60, can that combine in any way to give us our -4 down here? No, because 1 plus 60, that would be 61. What about 1 minus 60 or 60 minus 1? That would be like 59. This is pretty big numbers. So what about the 2 times 30? Can 2 plus 30 give us -4? No. How about 2 minus 30? No, that'd be still too big of numbers. 3 times 20, I can already see the difference there. It's already like going to be 17, so that's too big. So I know I need to be probably looking at these three down here. So 4 times 15. So what's 4 plus 15? Well, that would be 19, so that doesn't work. And 4 minus 15 would be -11, still no. 5 plus 12, that would be 17. 5 minus 12, that would be -7. Is that right? Yeah, that's -7. And then the last one, 6 plus 10, that's 16. 6 minus 10, well, 6 minus 10, that actually gives us -4. So I need 6 minus 10. Those are my factors there. So now we just do it the same way as last time. We can't just straight up put, remember, we just can't put x. Here, hold on. It'd be nice to put x plus 6 and x minus 10 and be done with it. But if we look at this and we do x times x, that doesn't give us 5x squared. And what about 6 times -10? That doesn't give us -12. So we can't do that as much as I wish we could. So we're going to get rid of this. And I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this just like the last one. So 5x squared stays the same. But instead of that -4x in the middle, I'm going to rewrite this as plus 6x and minus 10x. And y'all see where I got that? I got that from right over here, these two. So this becomes plus 6x minus 10x. And then at the end, that minus 12 stays the same from right here. Okay. So now we're going to do just like we did in the last one. We're going to group it up into two different slots. I'm going to use a different color here. So let's use blue. So ignoring this second half here, just ignore this part. Let's just look at this. So what does the 5x squared and the 6x have in common? Well, the 5 and the 6, well, those aren't common, so we can't do anything with those. What about these x's? This has an x, and this has an x. So they have x's in common. So I'm actually going to take out an x and rewrite it. 5x, now it's not squared anymore because we took one of those x's away, plus 6. And it was 6x, but remember, we took that x away, so it's gone. So now we'll look at this other part right here. What do they have in common? We got a -10x and a -12. The 10 and 12, those aren't very common. Can't really, I mean, we could take some out of that, can we? They're both even. So, since they're both even, and what else do we notice? Both negative. So since they're both even, both negative, we could take out the 2, a -2 from those. So when we have to take out -2 from this, -10 divided by -2 gives us a +5. And then we have -12 divided by -2, +6. So all I did here was divide that -2 out between both of those. All right, so now we got this again. And remember, what are we looking here that's the same, that we notice on both these sides is the same? They both have 5x plus 6, 5x plus 6. So we're really factoring out this whole 5x plus 6. And then all we got left is an x. This is gone because we just factored it out to this. And then we got a -2 left. And this is gone too because we factored it out up front. So we really have x minus 2. So again, this x comes here, and this minus 2 comes here because we factored out the 5x plus 6 to there. And that's all there is to it. We're already done with it. So again, if you need to go back and look at this over again, that's fine. Just rewind the video and look at it again. If you got questions on this, I am more than happy to answer any questions you got. Again, office hours 11 to 1, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday is the big group meeting. So the rest of that is for you all to do. And that's all I got for you.